Hey everybody, today's video is sponsored by MyBookie. Now, football season's only 2 weeks deep, so if you haven't selected your betting platform yet, MyBookie's got you covered. MyBookie.ag is the place to get in on the action this football season. Their easy to use, brand new mobile site allows you to place bets from anywhere. The games are twice as exciting with some skin in the game. And when you win, you get paid fast. MyBookie has live in-game betting on every NFL game. They've got the most rewarding player perks in the business, and for you fantasy football guys out there, you can even bet the over-under on how many fantasy points a player will score on each game. Plus, if you deposit with the promo code ROB, MyBookie will double your first deposit up to $1,000. With MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid. So if you click the link below in the description for MyBookie.ag, that's not .com, it's MyBookie.ag, and use the promo code ROB, they'll double your first deposit up to $1,000. Got plenty of time left to get in on the action. Good luck. What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and Shavam's lightweight was, as they say in Germany, stinken, because we came in, we're like, oh, it smells like sewage in here, something. And I learned from Cosmos, which also had a similar problem. Shavam's battery exploded in his lightweight, but he paid far too much for it. I think he had a BMW dealer do it about a year ago. Spent $800 in a battery, so they warrantied it. But today I'm going to talk to you about how I was able to catch a fraud for a guy who was trying to rent my Lamborghini this weekend for $8,000. The easiest way to spot a fraud is if a credit card doesn't go through. When a credit card does go through, you're like, oh, cool, a credit card went through. So I had a guy call up, and he wanted the Lambo for the weekend for $8,000 after taxes and everything, delivery. And charge went through. I said, can you send over a copy of the front and back of the card? Because you said you're paying for it for somebody, which is like pretty much one of the leading things that lead to fraud. That I'm going to be paying for somebody else's rental, which is why the document names aren't going to match the guy who's renting the car. Sent over the insurance policy for the driver, sent over the license for the driver. That's all good, because that guy's not paying for it, so he may not be committing fraud. He's just getting a free car rental. The charges, though, I have to verify that they're going to stick. And I saw the charge, I put it through, everything went through. CVV matched, zip code matched, billing address matched, everything matched. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. But then I'm like, all right, just out of curiosity, can you send over, and I got the payment authorization form, can you send over a copy of the driver's license associated with the card and a copy of the front and back of the card? Sent it over, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look right. And that's the first clue. When something doesn't look right, I've seen stuff photoshopped. This was a pretty crappy Photoshop, or at least to me it was a crappy Photoshop. So I tried to be prudent and reach out to the credit card company. So I called the number on the back of the card, reached out, and I was like, hey, I just want to alert you. I think I have a potential fraud on my hands, and I'm wondering if you guys would be able to help. And I'm like, I've got a card here. It's a Citi double cashback rewards card, and here's the number. And they're like, well, that's a Costco card. I'm like, see, we're getting somewhere. And next thing you know, they put me over to the Costco department. I'm like, all right, this is the name. The name matched, but they couldn't give me any further information. Well, I'm like, okay, well, the charge went through on this rental, but I'm pretty sure I've got a fraud on my hands because these numbers just don't look right. It just doesn't, something doesn't feel right here. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, we can't help. We'll contact our fraud department. I'm like, okay, but like, do you want to just do this? Do me one favor. I'm not asking you to give me any information. Why don't you call the customer and ask them if they tried to spend $8,000 today? Like, and that's very simple. If my credit card company called and said, hey, fraud department, did you try to run a charge for $8,000? I could say yes or no. That puts the end to all of this, but they wouldn't. So they've got really no desire to prevent fraud, which is really strange to me. But the credit card company now is on alert, and I was able to then look into it further because I'm like, well, I don't want to not give a guy a card just because something doesn't add up. And then I looked a little bit deeper into the credit card, and the Citi double cashback rewards card is not by Visa, it's by MasterCard. So the back of the card, just the numbers look completely fake. And I can't obviously show you all the numbers, but I can show you some of them, and that doesn't look legit. That looks photoshopped. So I asked the guy to send over a color copy of everything. He did. Still doesn't look right. And then when I start digging into it, the double rewards card's MasterCard, not Visa, so that didn't line up. And then on the phone, they said it was a Costco card, which would make sense with the number because the number started with a 4, which 4 is Visa. MasterCard starts with 5. So it just doesn't feel right. And that's the way I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to happen. So I contacted the customer. I said, look, I'm not feeling this. I'm like, can you provide another payment method? Can you do something? Because this just doesn't add up. And I told him why. I'm like, here's the things the problems I have with your credit card. He's like, well, I saw the charge come through. I was like, okay, cool. How much was that charged for? And not only that, how much was it charged for, and what was the company name that charged you? And I'm like, and you would have to be present at the delivery. He's like, responded back, sure, I could be present at the delivery. I'm like, okay, but how much was the charge that you saw come through, and from what company? Bunch of silence. You know what happens when you get a bunch of silence? Doesn't have an answer. You know why? Because it's probably not his credit card. So I think I avoided one here. I don't get $8,000. The car is now available for the weekend, but I didn't get burned, and that's the more important thing. I'm amazed that the credit card companies aren't a little bit more proactive. They want to process money. They want to do this. I would not be upset at all if my credit card company said, hey, got called from a vendor. They're concerned that one of your transactions is fraud. Oh, yeah, you know, that's just me spending lots of money. I got you. But at least I wouldn't be offended by it. So I think I saved myself. It's partly I'm upset that I don't have the revenue, but on the other hand, I'm even happier that I didn't get screwed out of it and I don't have to fight for it. So thank you for watching. Rob Ferretti. Cautionary little tale. It's good when something doesn't feel right. As a business owner, as somebody who's processing money, the most important thing is that you're able to keep that money, especially if there is a chargeback at some point in time. And if you want to do that, I recommend trusting your gut and looking a little bit deeper into things when something doesn't really add up. Rob Ferretti, signing out. See you tomorrow. For those of you not familiar with my other company, I started a company called Adventure Drives, which combines driving and bucket list travel. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested, prices can be done per person. Don't worry if you don't have somebody to go with you, we can match you up with somebody. You can check the link in the description for adventuredrives.com and sign up today.